has given up his plan. The puppet in the puppet theater has no plan. You know, he will just wait, then it goes left, right, straight, backwards. Now sleep. He will fall in the bed and sleep for puppet. Now get up at maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, but he doesn't say no. If the puppet master goes, he is then ready for the action. This is real spiritual life. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami speaks about this in one verse. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Are Sababritya Are Yaicha Nachai. Meaning is, I forgot the last segment. Meaning is, there's only one controller. Everyone else is his servant and dances the way he makes them dance. Like maybe Prabhupada took his poetic expression in his arrival prayer from this shloka where it is very nicely said how you should consider yourself in devotional life. The sum and substance of devotional life is to become a servant again, a surrendered servant. Not even directly of Krishna, but of a servant who is a servant who is a servant of Krishna. The more you are moved in the service line, the more you are in contact with Krishna, because Krishna is approached through the quality of dainya, or humility. So if you stand directly next to Krishna and say, I'm Krishna's servant, that is not as favorable for the idea of devotion as when you say, I'm very fallen, I'm at the end of the list here. I'm serving the devotees who serve Krishna. That is more favorable, and Krishna finds more pleasure when a devotee stands in the line of the servants, somewhere, and not jumps forward. Very important, next to the. So yes. I think when we hear these very clear words, which we have most probably read in Srila Prabhupada's writing, I don't think it is new for anyone who is connected with Krishna consciousness that we believe in the path of surrender, we have two reactions. One is a certain warm feeling in the heart, where we know, yes, that's the best. That's really the best. At that moment when I'm a surrendered soul who doesn't make so many plans, I lose all my anxieties because I'm no longer responsible alone. I have given my life to Krishna and so on. But then we also think, no more plans. No more independent activity, but what's about my holidays? And so on. We are now a little bit shocked about this and a little bit inconvenienced. And I think the reason is because we have a little mistaken means wrong understanding of what the path of Sharanagati really is, and what it how do you say, what it means for us in practice. So I would like to really speak about this, and my mission is, or my reason why I've chosen to speak about it. You will understand Akrura's journey to Vrindavan and how he eventually meets Krishna much, much better when you understand the path which he took. The path to Krishna is not a path which the GPS can tell you left, right, take this highway, then pass by this town. No. The path to Krishna is shown in another GPS. It is shown by the sadhus, by the scriptures, by the gurus. It's the path of surrender. The Brahma Bhagavata Purana tells us that between us and Krishna is a very difficult obstacle, a very, very difficult to cross mountain. And anyone who wants to go there, he has to know what that mountain is and what the path is. I remember when the Dalai Lama was attacked in Tibet in Lhasa by the Chinese people. They wanted to actually imprison him and in this way capture the head of the Tibetan world, if you so want, and thus control Tibet much faster. But in the last moment, the Dalai Lama got to notice that the Chinese were coming in with their iron snake and their iron birds. That's the train system and the airplanes towards Lhasa. And he decided to flee to India, but it was very difficult to cross mountain in between. The Himalayan mountain range, they're called the Trans-Himalayan mountain range. The Trans-Himalaya, big mountains there. The biggest mountains are 8,000 and something high there. And he needed really persons who knew the path which would help him. You can't climb an 8,000 mountain, how will you do this? You need to know the path around and forward. It's a beautiful saga of modern politics, how he escaped and by what path and what difficulties he encountered. But it's a very brave story of a person who is very convinced to defend his opinions and his belief and so on. Anyways, the scriptures talk about something similar. They say, for the conditioned soul, there is a big mountain range. It's not the Trans-Himalaya, but it's the mountain of Aham and Mameti. Aham means the ego, I am, Mameti the extension. It's the world which the ego constructs around it, like a child who works in his sandbox and creates his own little houses and so on. Mine. I and mine. And that is the mountain which we have to face, and the path which leads over this mountain into freedom is the path of Sharanagati, or the path of surrender. The path really starts by hearing about Krishna. It's called Shravana Dasa, the level of you need to hear on this path and hear so much about Krishna. Means this is the beginning, right? Or this is, let me say, no, the path is, I want to be more clear to you. The path of Sharanagati, we all have heard about the 6 items, but there are 5 stations which when you cross your own Himalaya mountain in the heart, then you see, you come to different levels in your spiritual life. And I thought it's very interesting we can understand these 5 stations. You know, when we walk, we should know that we are on the right, that we pass the right stations. Maybe you express the same trouble which our devotees who came with me to Goloka experienced. We were trying to come here, but all of a sudden we noticed, my God, we are passing the wrong towns here. Where are we? We went totally wrong. We don't want to go to Cologne. No Cologne. No Cologne. We were on the way to Cologne. We need to go direction of Trier, Bingen. Oh yeah. So when you want to advance in your spiritual life, you need to see that you're not going to the wrong places. You need to see that you are going to the right places. And here this description is given. Shravanadas, this is how you start. You hear Krishna, his pastimes, how he is, what he thinks. You hear about the mind of God, thoughts. Then you hear the holy name, much kirtan, it purifies your heart, Shravanadas. Then, next. Varandas. Varan means you accept, oh yeah, this sounds very good, this is my life, this is what I wish to do. Varandas. Then, as you continue, you accept even initiation. I want to be guided on this path. This is for me. I will accept also outwardly. I will accept Tulsi Mala, Tulsi Kanti Mala. I will accept this. I will accept Tilak. I have this mark. This means I'm a servant of Krishna. I'm convinced of this. It means also, look, my path goes upward, not downwards. Like this. You see? This is the meaning of Tilak. And in between these two walls, left and right, Radha and Krishna live. These are my God. My God. You know, you go like this, you accept it. Yes, that's me. I have a person who wants to become initiated. I know a person who wants to become initiated in Krishna conscious, but he has not accepted these things. He is not really on the same webpage as we all are. First get on the same webpage. Then let us talk about how to move from there. This is Varandas, acceptance. Then comes Smarandasha. Smarandasha means you begin to fill the activities of your mind with thoughts about this Krishna conscious world. Smaran, first of all, you only occasionally remember, like maybe in a lecture, and then when the lecture stops, you forget everything. That's the beginning of Smaran. You know, but during the lecture, maybe for 1 minute, you think, wow, what a point. You know, and you remember this for 30 seconds. This is how your Smaran starts. At the end, when you are really going deeply into your remembrance, you will come to Samadhi, where this is all the time in your mind and in your heart. It's just there, like an uninterrupted flow of nectar. The thoughts of Krishna come to you. Then come other levels of apana. You attain bhava. That means love for Krishna, and it is in your whole being. You are always about your life is what likes Krishna, what is Krishna. I'm remembering. I just had to write something like accompanying words, something for a wonderful book which is being published, and there. The devotee Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu, his name I believe, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. Chaitanya Chandra. What is his name? From Gadaigiri.
Chaitanya Chandra.
Chaitanya Chandra. Yes. He had written about the Brajbasis, how they are all these aparadas having this love in their heart for Krishna. And he said he once had to buy some ornaments for the Krishna Balaram deities in Bhuvaneshwara. And he said, he told the Mukutwala, the person who makes crowns and ornaments for deities, please do this. Can you do it immediately? And he said, yes, I do according to your specification. And he gave the order to one man who was making the ornaments. And Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu was waiting while the ornaments were ready for him to take home to Krishna Balaram. So during this time he saw many Brijvasis coming into this shop who needed something, and they usually worship Krishna as a little boy, Ladu Gopal. Because Krishna was there when he was in Vrindavan, when he was a small boy, and they would all pray to Krishna, please come to my home and steal on your coat and my sweets and so on. They would feed him like this. This was their Baba, like parental Baba, like they see Krishna more like a little child. So they all came, so many came, 5 or so, to order something for their small Ladu Gopal. And they always have him with him like a mother cannot go without the child anywhere, so they take this deity with them. And Chaitanya Chandra noticed that they were welcomed by the Mukutwala, the person who sold the ornaments. And usually in Vrindavan, they have maybe learned this from ISKCON, they offer you a fruit juice when you wait, so that you have something to do and don't run out and do something else. So when these glasses of fruit juice were offered to the Brijvasis, they always asked for a straw, then they would take the fruit juice and take their Ladu Gopal out and offer it to Ladu Gopal first. And only after some time, when little Krishna had drunken the juice, they were asking for a separate straw, and they were drinking the prasadam remnants. So he remembered this with many Brijvasis who came like this. He saw that they have Baba, they had love in their hearts. Isn't it nice, this person goes shopping and fruit juice is offered to him. He said, it's not for me, it's for Krishna. And he offers to Krishna. This is a very good Baba, a very good mood for Krishna. And then finally Prapanna Dasa comes. It's the Vastu Siddhi. Vastu Siddhi means you are in your eternal spiritual body and you are directly communicating with Krishna, with deep, loving emotions called raga. So that is the journey for all of us. Shravandas, we hear, then Varandas, we accept. Have you already accepted? Maybe some of you are still in the little rebellious mood, or you have not really made the endeavor to look what is there for you to accept. Then you get into filling your mind with this. It's called smarandasha, and then the love can come and bring you back home, back to Godhead, where in your constitutional position you serve Krishna as a servant of the servants who uses all his words, all his body and everything in Krishna's service. This is the path, these are some stations on the path. Now to go on this path, you should make yourself familiar with a few points. The first point, which is very important for this, is that you must know you are not the body. Without this understanding, that you at least theoretically understand, I'm an eternal soul. I have nothing to do with this little world of aham mameti, which I've constructed with my false ego around me. Bhakti will be very difficult. It's very difficult. Because It's the soul who is a part of Krishna. The body and the mind is a part of this world. And it will disintegrate, the body will disintegrate one day and turn into earth and fire and all the other elements. The mind is also constantly changing. So you must perform bhakti from the platform. I'm a part of Krishna. That means I'm a soul. It's very important. Especially you must do this during your sadhana, when you chant Hare Krishna. The last few days when I came back to the West, I had so many thoughts, so many emails, like all of you, maybe even a little more than some of you. So many projects, so many questions. What is about this? Will you come to this country? And so on. And whenever I was trying to sit down in my japa, I was thinking, oof, I have to tell my secretary to write this email. Oh, I forgot this. And oh, what is about this? And I have to write this article. Only one more hour is left, and then the deadline is there. And I was just all the time in this, in these thoughts which relate to my physical existence in this world. But because I had just come from Mayapur and had lectured about this in our Kirtan Academy there, a wonderful Kirtan Academy under the desire trees of the Dhama, I remembered, now, Sacinandana Swami, leave your little word of Ahamaveti. You have to somehow connect now with Krishna. And the first and most simple way to do this is through this type of prayer, which comes now from the mouth of this Vritasura. He is Chitraketu, a great king who was cursed by Parvati, the powerful material energy, to take on the body of a demon. He is now battling with Indra, and it looks as if he's winning the battle. And all of a sudden, he noticed, I don't want to win this battle. I want to go back to my Lord. I want to win another battle. I want to be victorious over the material illusion and come back as a servant of Krishna. So, I think when we are chanting, we should do the same thing as Vritasura. We may have so many thoughts, and this needs to be arranged, and that needs to be arranged, but stop it for a moment. Just say, I want to dance in another ballroom. I want to win another battle. My priority is in another life than this. My priority is in spiritual life. And you can think, I'm this servant of Krishna. Now I have the chance to glorify Him. Now this is my private time with the Lord. And you disconnect for a moment, only 2 hours, or how much time you've set aside for your chanting. You disconnect from that word and just enter the other word. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like the way you say, the simple translation is please engage me in your servant and your service, but here is an extended one. Oh my Lord, oh Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants, who find shelter only at your lotus feet? Will this day come that I will again be in your company with all these other devotees? Oh Lord of my life, may I again become their servant, so that my mind may always think of your transcendent attributes. My words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your Lordship. Without this desire, there is no question of being a bhakta. A bhakta must have, Mahaprabhu taught this as the ideal bhakta, must have these feelings of separation. It's called viraha. That's the path our Gauranga Mahaprabhu has shown us. You know, the very alone. Oh Krishna, where are you? Prabhupada, once I remember we were in Paris, we had visited him, and it was during the lecture time, and he said, I will teach you a song. He didn't give a lecture, but he made us music students. I will teach you a song now. And then there were some papers that distributed, and the song was the Sadhu Swami Astakam. And there's one stanza, one verse, it goes like this. He Radhe Braja Devi Ke Chalalite He Nanda Sura Putra. It's a very wonderful song. It is describing the life of the Goswamis, who were walking sometimes at the Yamuna banks, sometimes near Govardhan Hill, and they were always calling, Hey Radhe! Oh Radha, where are you? And O Nanda Sunus, Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, where are you now? I want to know this. Where are you? I want to find you. And Prabhupada said, this is the mood in which the devotees should conduct their bhakti. He taught us personally. And still remember, he had his karatans, and very systematically taught us the whole song. Now, I want to be practical. You have heard now so many things, and you will maybe remember something. Maybe I should tell you a story, then you remember for sure the story, but I want to give you a little practical suggestion how you could walk this path during the Sanga Mela, the path of Sharanagati. Is this of interest to you, Ananda?
Yes.
Yeah? Something what you can practically do now. Okay? Everyone, perk your ears. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a song book. It's called Sharanagati. I highly recommend it to you. It's really like a Lebensbegleiter, the song book. It is something you should always have close by, you know, either in your carry-on bag or somewhere in your book collection at home. This is a very good book. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told his devotees they should regularly sing these songs. And when he left his body, he sang a song from this collection. He sung. So there is a section. It's called Bhakti Anakula Matra Karyera Svikar, to accept activities that are favorable for your devotional service. That's how you can practically walk, you know. These are the steps you can take. You start really from a platform of humility. My Lord, I'm your servant, I'm your dasa, I'm not what it seems to be. I'm like Vritasura. Outside I look in one way, but inside I'm totally different. And so on. So here is some steps. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I will carefully engage in all those activities that are favorable for your devotional service. I will execute all those activities favorable with the help of my senses. I have this body. I will now he starts. I will start by faithfully the discussions of your glories. This is how I start. I will hear about you, Krishna, so much. I remember we were in Kamyavan, and I was